A person named Salem from the south of Riyadh, who is 17 years old and has an older brother who is 27 years old and is responsible for him after his father separated from his mother, says that he is a person who loves to stay up late and does not return to his home until after midnight, and often he returns to his home at dawn. He had a friend named Ali, and one day Ali told him to go out. Ali had another friend named Faisal who was the same age as Ali. Salem loves to go out and stay up late, but he does not like adventure. The three of them decided to go to the desert, and since their friend Faisal hates horror and jinn, they decided to play a prank on him. Salem told him, "Today we're going to have a barbecue in southern Riyadh and we'll stay up until dawn." Faisal agreed, and they located the spot on Google Maps and started following the map. When they arrived, they found many cars in the desert and decided to go to the far end, which was very large. But before they could enter, someone stopped them and kept banging on the car window. Then he came up to them, introduced himself and said, "I'm Abu Hamed. I've lived here for 10 years." They thought he was crazy because no family had a desert area. They left the man and headed to the far end of the desert. After an hour and a half in the car, they found a tent with a well next to it, complete with all its equipment. They went there, since they had forgotten the tent, and agreed to stay until the next day. The darkness was terrifying, and the weather was very cold. Ali said, "This is the best place to sleep and have a barbecue." After they set up the tent and barbecued and turned on the lights, it was 1 in the morning. Ali and Salem kept talking about jinn and trying to convince Faisal that nothing bad would happen, but they persuaded him to tell any story, even if it wasn't true. As he started talking, the lights went out, and Faisal screamed in fear. The friends laughed and went to sleep, and the moonlight illuminated the place. They woke up at noon. The sun was strong. The wind was cold, so they decided to leave, intending to pray at any mosque along the way. Ali tried to start the car, but it wouldn't start. They discovered the battery was dead, and fear began to grip the young men, because it would be difficult for anyone to reach them in the remote desert. They started looking for their mobile phone to call for help, but it was gone. They thought it had been stolen, but how could it be stolen when the area was deserted? They sat thinking about their inevitable fate. As the sun set, they drank a little water, but it ran out. Darkness fell, and they locked their tent. They slept peacefully. Afterwards, they went to the well and found the body of an old woman. Salem and Faisal saw it, and Ali went to the well, but he didn't see anything. Ali said that they were struck by the sun, or the madman they met had affected them. They performed ablution and prayed the noon prayer and asked God to relieve them. Suddenly, at dawn, a man came to them and said, "O people of the tent!" So they went out to him, and he said to them, "Are you the ones who lit the fire?" They said, "Yes." He said to them, "Put out the fire, and I will help you get out of here." Salem fainted and woke up to find themselves in a room that resembled a prison. He began to ask Faisal what had happened and where Ali was. He said to him, "Ali has become a jinn." I said to him, "You're crazy. How can he be a jinn when we have been friends for 7 years? Do you remember when you fainted in the tent? Ali took the opportunity and took it." I said to him, "Yes, Ali is possessed, Faisal." So I said, "The day the car battery light went out, Ali was with us, and it's impossible that he would have turned it off. After the man's body was in the well, Ali didn't see it. And the third thing is that we woke up to a man saying, 'O people of the tent,' but he didn't move because he was afraid for us. At that moment, Ali was suddenly possessed. The door of the room opened, and guards entered and blindfolded them. Salem removed the blindfold and looked to find a person sitting in the chair. It was the old man whose body they had seen in the well. He said to them, "You humans entered my property without my permission and forced me to take your friend Ali, and now he is my servant." But Faisal argued with him, and he argued with him forcefully. The man said, "When you are the king, you can kill the soldier, but I will kill you." Salem saw Faisal fall to the ground with blood coming out of his mouth. Salem sat crying and went back to the room. Days, months, and years passed, and he was 24 years old. His job was to clean their clothes, until one day he entered, and one of the guards said, "The king has died, and the new king wants you." And here was the disaster. The new king was Ali. Salem sat in shock and decided, as soon as he returned to the room, to risk his life, and decided to kill Ali to get out.